This is Kirk Douglas in an exceptional motion picture. Lonely Are the Brave. Life can never cage a man like Jack Burns. For him, everything was a challenge. Fences were to be cut, horses were to be tamed, a woman was to be loved. And life was to be lived fully in wild, lusty adventure. Co-starring Jenna Rollins.
You broke out of jail, didn't you?
Actually photographed atop the 10,000-foot high Sandia Mountains of New Mexico.
We got him. He's right below us. I'll climb down and get him.
He stood alone, towering over all who would hunt him down. Kirk Douglas in Lonely Are the Brave.
That was the trailer for what was Kirk Douglas's favorite film he ever starred in, where he played the role of Jack W. Burns. Lonely Are the Brave was released in 1962, the beloved adaptation of Edward Abbey's 1956 novel, The Brave Cowboy. I came to know this film from reading Abbey's book, where I fell in love with the characters and Abbey's rich storytelling. After reading Edward Abbey's novel, The Brave Cowboy, Kirk Douglas convinced Universal Pictures to produce a film adaptation with him in the starring role. This is a statement from Douglas. It happens to be a point of view I love. This is what attracted me to the story, the difficulty of being an individual today. Douglas assembled the cast and crew through his production company, Joel Productions, and recruited ex-blacklisted writer Dalton Trumbo, who had written Spartacus 2 years before, to write the screenplay. The movie was filmed in and around Albuquerque, New Mexico, utilizing locations such as the Sandia Mountains, the Manzano Mountains, the Tierras Canyon, and Kirtland Air Force Base. The working title for the film was The Last Hero, but the release title was a matter of contention between the studio and Douglas. Douglas wanted to call it The Brave Cowboy, after the novel, and open the film in art houses to build an audience. However, Universal chose to market this film as a Western, titling it Lonely Are the Brave and widely distributing it without particular support. Despite this, the film gained a cult following and is often listed as one of the best Westerns ever made. Miller directed the picture with a rare and eloquent feeling for the landscape, complementing the story arc of a lone and principled individual tested by tragedy and the drive of his fiercely independent conscience. Lonely Are the Brave premiered in Houston, Texas on May 24, 1962. In November of 1962, President John F. Kennedy watched the movie in the White House. In his memoir, Conversations with Kennedy, Ben Bradley wrote, "Jackie reads off the list of what was available, and the president selected the one that we had all unanimously voted against, a brutal, sadistic little Western called Lonely Are the Brave." If you've watched this film, you're familiar with the tragic ending. Jack W. Burns and Whiskey's journeys ended when they tried to cross Highway 66 in the Tierras Canyon during a heavy rainstorm. The reason I wanted to bring this up is because after watching and reading this, I was heartbroken. I wanted to know if Jack made it. I wanted to know what he would do without Whiskey the horse. I felt like that couldn't be it. I've had a chance to read some of Abbey's other works, namely the Monkey Wrench Gang duology. In Hayduke Lives, Jack W. Burns makes an appearance as Hayduke's father. When I read these excerpts I'll include, I smiled so big. Hayduke opened another beer, gazed at the wisp of CO2 wafting from the hole. He smiled. "That old guy? Doc, he's older than you are, and crazier. Senile, maybe. Talks to himself a lot about some horse named Whiskey. Falls in love with somebody named Oral or Opal. Carries chicken guts in his pants pocket. Damn near shot himself in the foot practicing his quick draw. Not really much help. Good with horses, but I don't need a horse for my special project. I need an ultralight flying machine. Where can I get one, Doc?" "Jack," Bonnie said, "you're not coming with us?" "Can't walk," he explained, lying. "Can't get a horse down Seldom's route. I'll see you all some other time, someday. Better get a move on." Doc shook the ranger's hand. "An honor to meet you, sir." "Likewise, Dr. Sarvis." Bonnie reached up, stretching, and grasped the masked man's gauntleted hand. "You're my hero, Jack." "Thank you, ma'am. You're a princess." Hayduke's turn. "Thanks for the help, Dad." "You're welcome, son." The Lone Ranger glanced at the sky, saw the helicopter still 2 miles off, and returned his steady one-eyed gaze to George Hayduke. "And here's some free advice for you, young fella. Clear out of this country. Make yourself scarce for a while. Head for old Mexico. You'll fit in good down there." Hayduke grinned. "See you in hell, Jack Burns." Jack W. Burns lived on and gave life to George Hayduke, the beer-drinking, government-fighting hellion brought to life in the Monkey Wrench Gang by Edward Abbey. I highly recommend you check out this film if you haven't, and if you have, I implore you to check out the aforementioned books. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a nice day.